What's up, everyone? It's Ashley. If you are new to my channel, I am a 23-year-old living on the South Shore of Massachusetts. I am a certified personal trainer, and I'm currently in grad school right now studying human performance and nutrition. So basically, my YouTube is all about health, wellness, nutrition, body confidence, all that jazz. But before we jump into the video today, I just want to bring your attention to underneath my video. There is a description, and I have a few one-on-one calls opening for this week and next week and the weeks following. So you can book a free one-on-one call with me to see if you would be a good fit for my AP Confidence program. So again, right below this video, you will see the link to schedule a one-on-one. But the point of today's video is to talk a little bit about nutrition, and I gathered up the questions that you guys asked me, and I condensed it to 5 questions because I could talk about this kind of stuff all day, but I want to make it short and sweet. So 5 questions about nutrition that you guys asked me on my Instagram. The first question was, I have it written down. So, is calorie counting actually accurate, and does it actually work? So, yes, but it's not the end-all, be-all. So basically, when we eat, we're eating calories, and calories are energy. So we eat food to get energy. The more calories that you eat and the more calories that your body personally needs, the more you're going to consume, the more you're going to eat. That typically leads to weight gain. And then the less calories you eat that your body actually needs, that typically leads to losing weight. So basically, to lose weight, you need to consume fewer calories than what your body burns. And to gain weight, you need to consume more calories than your body burns. So what the hell does that mean, Ashley? So if you are having, typically women have about 2,000 calories a day. Typically men have a little bit more, like 2,500. So if I wanted to lose weight, I would decrease my calories from 2,000 to about 1,500, which means every day I am eating less than what my body burns, 500 a day, and that would lead to losing a pound a week. But I personally don't count calories. I never have, maybe like once or twice, just to be like curious as to how much I'm consuming. But for some people, it's really helpful for them to count calories. It keeps them on track, and it kind of makes them aware. So whenever I do count calories, it's just to be aware of what I'm eating, and I'm not really paying attention to the number at all. But counting calories can become obsessive, and that is because of how strict it is, and we kind of just look at the number and not the value of food. So with that being said, there's way more to losing weight, gaining weight, living a healthy lifestyle than just calories. It depends on what you're eating. So anyone could be like, okay, I'm gonna eat less calories, so I'm gonna lose weight. But if they're eating Doritos and unprocessed foods, microwave pizza, chances are they probably aren't going to lose weight because what they are consuming isn't even nutritious enough for their body. So I really pay attention to what it is that I'm putting into my body, and what nutrients those foods hold. So calories are a good way to just kind of see how much you're eating, but it's not something that you need to obsess over at all. So calorie counting does work, but it's not, there's a lot of other factors that go into play. So I hope that answers your question. And then my second question that I got was what my opinion and thoughts were on fasting. And I thought this was interesting because a lot of people did ask me this. And just 2 weeks ago, I did my first fast. And it was probably lasted 20 hours. If you count the 12 hours of sleeping and being in bed. But I didn't really like it. But I'm someone who wakes up every morning and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to have my breakfast as soon as I wake up. So it was kind of difficult for me, to be honest. I don't know if it was because I wasn't in the right mindset. I mean, I tried to get into the right mindset before, but I love food and I look at food as nourishment. So not having food for almost 24 hours until I caved in was tough, and I felt pretty shitty. I was tired, but that was my first time doing it, so I don't know what it would be like if I did it now or in a couple months. But personally, I don't know a lot on fasting, but I am someone who preaches eating food and eating food for nourishment. So fasting kind of goes not against what I believe in, but it's interesting because we fast for basically 12 hours when we go to sleep without even noticing. And fasting has been a thing for a really long time, and now it's just grown a lot of popularity. There are a lot of benefits to fasting, such as like controlling your appetite, lowering your blood glucose levels, potential weight loss. But with the research that I've done with school, a lot of the studies that are out there are only being done on animals, so it's tricky for them to kind of say convert an animal to a human. And also the studies that are being compared, so there'll be a study comparing, let's say, the fasting and then the typical American diet, which typical American diet is processed foods, lots of fats. So basically you're comparing under eating, fasting, to overeating, the typical American diet. So this kind of limits what we can find out about fasting. If you are really into fasting, I suggest going onto Google and looking up Precision Nutrition, their book on fasting, and there's a lot of good information regarding fasting. But personally, my thoughts are that I love food and I never want to put myself in a position where I'm not eating food all day, but that's just me. So yeah, that is my thoughts on fasting personally. And then my next question, third question, is when trying to cut out more refined sugar, what are some tips to doing so? So there's two types of sugar, just to kind of give a background. There is refined sugar and natural sugar. So your refined sugar is things such as high fructose corn syrup, table sugar, and then your natural sugar is basically like sugar that you find in milk, sugar that you find in cheese, honey, fruits, natural sugar, not something that you're pouring into a product to sweeten it. So the difference with refined sugar and natural sugar is that refined sugar, so the sugar that is considered unhealthy, digests faster than natural sugar. So once we have a cupcake with a lot of refined sugar, it goes through our body pretty quickly, and then we're ready for the next cupcake. As opposed to natural sugar, where we digest it, it sits in our system for a while, and we are full. So, consuming more natural sugar than refined sugar is an obvious solution, an obvious lifestyle change that you should be making. So, tips when it comes to trying to cut out these refined sugars: if you're a soda drinker, start switching over slowly to sparkling water. You still get that like fizzy feeling, but you don't have any sugar in sparkling water, as opposed to way more than what you should be having for sugar in a day in just one soda can. It's pretty gross. Second, read your labels. So the FDA is now making it a requirement. I think 2021, all the labels have to say, your nutrition label will say on any food product, it'll say sugars, and then right underneath it, it'll say total added sugars. And this is key, because you could have, for say, orange juice, and it'll say sugars 32 grams. And then underneath, it'll say total added sugars 0 grams. So what that means is there's no refined sugars. The sugars that are in that juice are natural sugars that are occurring from the fruit. So orange juice, for example, oranges. And it's not something that you necessarily have to worry about, because those are natural sugars. Our body deserves to have natural sugars. Pay attention to the ingredients. So anything that ends in OSE is typically a sugar. So look out for those in the ingredients list, and just read your ingredients as is. But also, something that I look at is making sure that my protein on the food label, my protein is higher than the sugar. Just a good way of looking at sugar and protein. So make sure that your protein, the grams, are higher than the grams of sugar. And lastly, just consume sugars that are wholesome. So sugars that come from dairy products, sugars that come from your fruits, sugars that come from vegetables even. Eat real whole foods, and you will not have a problem with added sugars, because added sugars are literally in almost everything that is processed. So please read your labels. If you're not, start reading them, and you're going to be surprised what there is actually added sugars in. My fourth question was, are juice cleanses a good way to get back on track with healthy eating, or just a waste of money? So this is funny, because I work at a juice bar, but I've never done a juice cleanse before. I do drink juices, but never something that I solely rely on for the whole day. So the good side of a juice cleanse is that you are consuming fruits and vegetables, but there are a couple factors that you do have to look out for. So when you juice a fruit or a vegetable, fiber is taken out of it. And fiber is one of the components of food that keeps us full. And it keeps our blood sugar levels from rising. So when you juice, both of those factors are taken out. So you're going to be craving food because there's no fiber in what you are drinking. And you're going to be craving things because your blood sugar levels are rising. There's also no protein in your juices, obviously, because fruits and vegetables do not provide us with protein. So you are going to crave things, but that's just how it is. If you don't have any protein basically takes longer to digest than carbs do. So eating protein will help you stay fuller longer, as opposed to carbs. And fruits and vegetables are carbs. So typically you're going to get hungry pretty quick. So with my own opinion on juice cleanses, maybe a day would be like a good way to kind of kick yourself back into gear eating wholesome foods, but I wouldn't suggest doing it for longer than a day, personally. Plus, your body deserves more than just juice. And lastly, I'm not shocked I got this question, but are carbs bad for you? And this is super, super important because of the keto diet and the Atkins diet and all those diets that completely diminish carbs. The keto diet basically is 20 grams or less of carbs. And I remember I was just doing a discussion post on this diet, and I was literally eating something that had 24 grams of carbs. And I thought to myself, I could never do that diet. Not that I like diets anyways, but carbs are not bad for you. With anything, with fats, with proteins, unhealthy carbs are unhealthy. Healthy carbs are healthy. Your healthy carbs are your fruits, your vegetables, your wholesome foods. Your unhealthy carbs are those brownies, those cupcakes, white bread, white rice, sometimes white rice. But balance is key. You can obviously have a cupcake if you want a cupcake. Please eat the damn cupcake. But it depends on what you're doing and how you are eating every single day that matters the most. Our body needs carbs. Without carbs, we lose one of our main energy sources, which those are our carbs, our proteins, and our fats. So it really depends on what you are eating for carbs. If you are having a shit ton of sugary food, then obviously that isn't healthy. But if you are looking at carbs as fruits and vegetables, voila, that's what you need. Carbs are not bad for you. They are not bad for you. They are not bad for you. They are not bad for you. I will say that over and over and over again. We need carbs. We need them for energy. But there is a big difference between having unhealthy and healthy carbs. Balance is key, but you really want to focus on having carbs that hold nutrients as opposed to carbs that don't. So those are the 5 questions that I got for this week. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed yet, please do. If there's anything that you would like to see from my videos, please comment below some ideas. I do have a couple ideas coming up, but I want to help you guys as much as possible. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next week.